instead of a Mustang GT. So a few things I want to go over with you guys. Just a couple modifications that I've done already, and then we're going to finish the rest of this video inside the car. But a few mods that I've already done to this. I had this car for about 2.5 years. I have replaced the LED lights inside of here, and it looks like I might need to get a couple new ones. I see a little flickering, so I'm gonna have to address that. But so far these lights have held up really good. I haven't had these lights in the entire 3 years or 2.5 years, so just letting you guys know. But yeah, this is the 2SS model. I do have the Brembo brakes. I did get these painted. I added these stripes. These did not come with the car, but these did, so that looks really good. Added these side stripes as well, obviously my decal, and this lovely exhaust. Blacked out the tail lights, white bow tie, and I'll explain to you guys what I did for that exhaust in just a second. Added this Super Sport gas cap decal and my blind spot mirrors. So just a few minor things. The exhaust is what I get questions about the most. For this exhaust, I actually did 3 different things. I did a Borla Attack axle back exhaust first. Then I did an X pipe in place of the resonator. Then I did high flow cats, and that's what really cranked up this volume. And I also have a cold air intake. I don't know if that does anything with the volume necessarily, but all of these plus the dyno tune has put me at now 457 crank horsepower, which translates to about 381 wheel horsepower. So I've added almost 60 horses with all the exhaust mods and the cold air intake. So yeah, it's doing really well. Of course, don't mind the pollen right now. It is pollen season, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. But yeah. So we're gonna go on a quick drive, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I bought a Camaro instead of a Mustang GT. So I'm just cruising in manual mode. Get a few downshifts. The best part of manual. And I'll get a quick little pull. Automatic sports car, as soon as you switch it into manual mode, it's a different animal, I'm telling you. Now, of course, the true car enthusiasts are going to be like, oh, well, you should have got a manual sports car anyway. Yeah, I know. The option is always there to get a manual sports car. However, I knew that this vehicle was going to be my daily driver, and I don't want a manual as a daily. My Jeep Wrangler that's in the yard that you guys probably saw in the video, that is a manual, but I also don't drive that quite as much as I do this car. So I understand. I like the feeling of a manual. You got more control, it's more power. You can argue technically it's a little slower in races because it's hard for people to outshift a computer. So there's pros and cons to getting a manual car, but I knew I wanted automatic. So that's what I was looking for back in, I would say 2017 is when I started looking for a sports car. Shift a little bit. Oh, and then you get the burbles too. It's always ready for it too. Anyway, so in 2017, that's when I first started looking for a sports car. I was driving a 2007 Hyundai Tiburon, if you guys remember any of those. I know they stopped making them in like 2008, but I love my little sports car. You know, it's a little 4-cylinder, 2-door coupe. You know, I felt like I was doing my thing. But at the end of the day, I was tired of, I guess I was just tired of, you know, the lack of power. I think those Tiburons only came with like, I don't know, like 167 horsepower, something ridiculous. So I was like, no, I am ready for muscle. So that's what I did. Switch back into automatic while I'm talking to you guys. So I knew Like, I was 100% convinced I wanted a Mustang. And I was like, it's the best entry-level sports car or muscle, whatever. And I was just like, I'm gonna get me a Mustang. I want a blue one. I was torn in between whether I wanted the grabber blue or the, I guess, is it called Atlantic blue or something? I knew I wanted a blue Mustang, so that's what I was looking for. And at the end of the day, the color didn't matter to me that much. I knew I wanted a Mustang. So at the time, I had a friend, ex whatever, and he worked at a car dealership. He worked at Chevy. And I told him, as much as he tried to convince me to buy a Camaro, I was like, I don't want a Camaro, I want a Mustang. So if you guys get a Mustang in your shop anytime soon, please let me know, because I'm really looking for one. It had to be a GT. I was not going to get a V6 Mustang. So he was like, all right, we'll keep an eye out. But, you know, they kept looking and nothing popped up anytime soon. So in September of 2017, he told me about a car that they just got into their dealership that was basically mint condition because the previous owner only put 19,000 miles on it, and they were disabled, so I'm pretty sure they didn't drive it very hard. They kept it in the garage and only took it out for joyriding and car shows. And I was like, oh, okay, what year's the car? He said 2010, and I'm like, 2010 with only 19,000 miles. So at the time, the car was already 7 years old. And you mean to tell me the owner only put 19,000 miles on it? And I'm like, that's insane to me. So they really took care of it. And of course, it's this car. It is, and he showed me pictures of it. There were no scratches or dents. The only thing that you could tell someone else had it was there's a device indent on this steering wheel. And if you go to some of my first videos, you'll be able to see it. That's why I have this cover on it. But there's an indent from where he used a clamp, so he was able to drive this car. So that was the only like blemish, I feel like. There are a couple scratches near the door, but I think that's the hardware that he had to use to get in and out of the vehicle and stuff like that. So I wasn't tripping about that. But what sold me on the Camaro was this one in particular. 19,000 miles, and the previous owner babied the car essentially, and that's really hard to find. I feel like when it comes to these sports cars and the V8s, it's hard to find one that was not dogged by the previous owner because they want to drive it like a sports car. So I was like, dang, I almost can't pass that up. He sold it to me for, I guess, a decent price. Looking back at it, I really don't know how much of a deal I got, but either way, I was really happy with it. It ended up being red with white stripes, which is like the opposite of what I wanted, which was a blue Mustang. Either way, I could not pass up how good of a condition this car was in just because it wasn't a Mustang. Now for the Camaro, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to see out of it. I was afraid that I wouldn't like it. But getting in it, of course, I'm used to it now. It's not an issue. I did get the blind spot monitors just to be on the extra safe side, but I also have those for my Jeep Wrangler, and you can see out of the Jeep just fine. It can't hurt to have your blind spot covered. So I was worried about the visibility. I was worried about, I guess, just, I don't know, I was never like looking at the Camaros really hard, so I just didn't know if this was something that I really wanted. I got inside and I saw the interiors of, I guess, some of the newer models, the 6 gens, and I was super impressed with the interiors. Like, holy crap. In my opinion, Camaro interior is better than the Mustang, and maybe that's why Camaros are a little more expensive. That's the other reason why I didn't want one, because I was afraid that the Camaro was going to be too expensive for me and I'd be able to just afford a Mustang. I also like the Challengers, but to me the Challenger felt too big for me personally, so I didn't even worry about trying to get a Challenger. Too much car for me. So yeah, I got this Camaro because of the condition it was in, a decent price, and I couldn't pass it up. And at the end of the day, I still do not regret buying this car. Like, I don't know if I would have met my car club, honestly, because of course the car club is C3, Chargers, Challengers, and Camaros. There's plenty of other Mustang clubs around here, so I'm not saying that I wouldn't have benefited from getting a Mustang. I don't know the people that I would have met, or you know, the friends I would have made and everything, so I can't necessarily say that. Taking a quick pit stop here, and thankfully I found some shade. So I personally felt that it was more beneficial for me to grab this car, and thankfully he told me about it before. I don't know, he told me about it before they put it up for sale, up for auction, I don't know. So I kind of had like first dibs on it essentially, and like I said, I'm really happy with it. And the Mustang, you know, it has its downsides. The Camaro has its downsides. Everyone is going to have their own opinion on each and every car in existence, especially the 3 muscle cars, if you want to call them that. Some people don't like calling these cars muscle cars. I call them muscle just because, I mean, they have a V8 and you can drive them as sports cars and stuff like that. So so between the 3, the Mustang, the Camaro, and the Challenger, I felt that at the time I felt that a Mustang would have fit me better, but I found a great deal on a Camaro and I could not pass it up. So this is the reason why I am here with my Camaro SS Bruce, and I have not had any major issues with this car, and I'm very happy with it. Currently sitting at 51,872 miles. The only issue I have had was after the dyno tune, and the dyno tune, I had a issue with the fuel pump control module, so I did have to get a new one of those. I don't know if that's something that the dyno tune caused, or if it's something that the tune sped up, like maybe it would have been an issue later down the road. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, I had to change that out. Other than that, I haven't had any major issues with this car, and I'm very, very, very grateful for that. And other than that, like, I guess that was the main reason why I chose this Camaro instead of a Mustang. Looking back on it, I don't know, like, if money was no object and somebody was like, oh, would you get a Mustang now? I'm like, I don't know, I mean, for what? Because it's like, it would just be another car that's similar to this, and I want something different. Like, if I had a car and money was no object, I would get a C7 Corvette. I know the C8s are out and those are amazing, and I can't wait to sit in one and maybe drive one, but I am still a huge fan of the C7 platform, and that's my current attainable dream car. If I can ever do it one day, I would get a C7. I wouldn't get a Mustang just because. So, and the Camaro handles a lot better. You know, the StabiliTrak system that Chevy has made, or GM, I don't know which one of them made it, but it does a really good job. I've tested this thing on a few corners and it handles. So, so I'm really happy with this car. If you guys have a, I guess, whatever sports car you have, if you consider it a sports car, tell me why you got your sports car instead of the other options that are out there. Because of course there are plenty of options, whether it's V6, V8, whatever, 4-cylinder, I don't care. Tell me why you went with your choice and if you're still happy with it. It's okay for people to get something and then realize it's not for them and then trade it in. That's okay. So, but yeah, I love this car. I'm not going to trade it in unless it's something like for a crazy deal. So I don't see me getting rid of this car anytime soon. I'm really happy with it, and it, knock on wood, hasn't given me any major issues. So me and Bruce are in for the long haul. So yeah, a lot of people thought I named him Bruce like after Batman. No, this is Bruce the shark from Finding Nemo. You guys remember him? Remember how nice he was until he smelled blood? This is Bruce. So as soon as he's ready to go, he's ready to go. Because driving him normally is very calm. It's not that loud. Even with my exhaust, it's not super loud. But as soon as, like I said, when I switch into manual mode and I'm ready to go and he's at the higher RPMs, totally different car. So this is why he got the name Bruce, and I love him. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a quick video. I'm out running just a couple errands, and I don't know, we're still trying to be socially distant. Dang it, I forgot my mask. I knew that's what I was forgetting. Crap, I'm about to go in the store. I'll be quick, try not to stand near people. So hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking your precautions, staying safe as always. And yeah, let me know why you decided to go with your sports car. And of course, let me know what you think about Bruce. And if you think I made a wise decision, what would you have done? Would you have passed it up and maybe still hold out for the Mustang or something like that? I don't know. There could have been a good deal Mustang somewhere down the road. I don't know. I'm happy with this car. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you watch some of my older videos because content's going to be few and far between with all this quarantine and stuff. So we're all trying to stay safe and get past this. So take a look at some of those videos. Let me know what you think. And of course, thank you all for watching. And I will see y'all next time. Take care.